Hello and welcome to the Ramon Foster Show, brought to you by our friends at the Get-Go Cafe and Market, where they're open 24/7, serving hot, fresh food. Moan, this is it.
We're here.
This is it. It's draft day. Can you imagine being one of those dudes and or dudettes, because there's plenty of those at this point in the NFL industry, who just focus on this day, 364 days of the year. They're like Santa.
It is. It's Christmas is what it is, man. The fan base is excited. I'm excited. You're excited. We got it to a science. I remember looking at mock drafts at the beginning of the 2021 season, college season, okay? That's how far back this goes. So yeah, this is Christmas for the experts, for the fans, for myself, because I'll be real, I'm excited about today. I'm excited about this draft pick, man. I really am, because we're in a new space right now.
Yeah, there's no question about that. There's always something that's so uniquely energizing about a football draft.
Yeah.
Versus, I shouldn't say any other sport, because I don't know how it is in basketball. They only have 2 rounds, so you're bringing in 2 real studs to your team, no matter who you are or what. But with the NFL, there's just such hope that comes with it. Whatever angst or whatever else that you suffered through for months, it's not like, oh yeah, and now we got one of these, and now we got 3 of these, and now we got 4 of those, and oh no, we're gonna push this guy, and we're gonna push that guy, and get rid of this bum. You know, and this, it becomes a period, 3 solid days of hope. You know?
Yeah, it is. And then trying to find the new guy at that, you know, that's replacing them or that you can cheer for is going to be the, hey, whose jersey am I getting? That goes through the mindset also. Like, how soon can I get player X's jersey? And it's the new fandom of it all, DK. And like you said, and I've always acknowledged it, we're excited about this day and what this is going to be. But in that same sense, there's a veteran on that team that's looking at his days and counting them down like, or as we mentioned yesterday, there are some young veterans like Deontay or Chase Claypool's like, why are you bringing him in? I'm just as good. So it's a good day. It's a real good day.
Is it though? This is since you bring this up here, I'm picturing Ramon Foster, let's say, I don't know, 6th or 7th year in the NFL. Now, you told me many times that you always felt there was somebody breathing down your neck.
Facts.
That's just the way you operated. But you're watching a draft, and you see Pittsburgh Steelers select from left guard, even though they would never say left guard. Left guard.
Player Z.
Player Z. Oh, Player Z and the Z family are jumping up and down, and Roger Goodell's waiting up there with open arms, and here's Moan sitting at home going,
the hell? From where?
What?
And how? Yeah, no, that's a huge part of it though, DK, is the business never stops. And that's why I said when the mocks came out last year as the top prospects for the next year, there were some guys looking like, why the hell? Like, I know our team won't be that great. They're probably going to pick at that position, you know? So I remember watching Malik Willis. I didn't really know who he was when I saw his name pop up on the mock drafts for the 2022 draft. And here we are speaking about him and him potentially going to Pittsburgh. You know, like, that's how quick the cycle rolls. That's where it goes into. Ben doesn't have to worry about it. That falls on Mason and on Mitch. So, but that's the beauty. And that's why also I always bring this up. Fans love teams. They like players. Unless you're great, then they'll love you. But they love teams because no matter what happens, the team is always there. The team is always a part of the community, unless you're threatening to move like Oakland did, and now they're in Las Vegas.
These are outliers.
Or Chicago is threatening to go to the suburbs.
Or Jacksonville, which actually has spent half the season overseas.
Well, yeah, but that fan base is a little different too. But they always love the team because the team is always there, and the team feeds you excitement of the draft, of free agency, of the season. And that's where we are right now, the feeding of the beast of what is NFL football. And I'm on the other side of it, and I see how it works, and I enjoy it. But as a player, like you said, when they mention a player in my position, all right, here we go. Let's go to war. You know what I'm saying? As far as trying to protect my position. But that's the beauty of what competition is. That's why they continuously have a draft every single year, because certain teams, and I don't believe all teams do it, but certain teams are actually trying to get better or trying to sustain and get themselves to a point to where they're competing for Super Bowls. And Pittsburgh picking at 20 is a little bit higher than what we want it to be, considering how good we've been over the years. But 20 is a good place. You're still above the line when it comes to performance of that team. And that's how you keep fans engaged in this, DK. I love it.
Well, let's do this. You mentioned Mitch and Mason, and let's say Mitch and Mason are doing that thing, tonight at 8:00, and they're watching, and the Steelers get to quarterback. I'm sorry, the Steelers get to number 20.
Yeah.
Or whenever the quarterback might come to them, depending on trading up and trading down. And Mason's already, taking his hits here.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's focus more on Mitch Trubisky, who's at least got to be the presumed starter. And you're Mitch and you're watching this, and Malik Willis is one thing because he comes in as a project. But let's say that it is a Kenny Pickett, or it's someone who could come in and challenge right away.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
I'm going to be real with you. I was a great teammate when it came down to that. I think I can say that. You can ask the guys that played behind me or they drafted at my position. But if I'm just being real, DK, and I don't think I've ever said it, because I've always tried to say I bring guys under my wing, like you're with me. Mm-hmm. But in my position where I was, which is very similar to what Mitch Trubisky is, he's at a point to where he becomes the guy or he becomes the bridge guy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one or two roles he's about to take with either the Steeler pick or how he plays moving forward in this 2022 season. If I'm Mitch and I've been in this position where they're talking about drafting your position, when it happens, and it happened to me, my mindset, F that guy. I'm going to be the best teammate you have. And I'm going to help you as much as you can. And I'm going to welcome the challenge of competing against you. But on the day that it happens, and probably everybody in my family is going to feel that way, F that guy. Mm-hmm. That's where I'm at. Because in the spirit of competition, I can't let you get me. I'm not going to bow down and roll over for you. So we're going to see, I hope, the best Mitch or Mason that the Pittsburgh Steelers can get out of them. Because if they do go pick at 20, a quarterback, my mindset is turn that switch on. Not like in the summer or OTAs. It's right now.
When we come back, who is really the guy? Welcome back to the Ramon Foster Show. And all week we've used the second segment to do a thing called Who's the Guy? Mm-hmm. And Ramon has offered his opinion on a lot of different players, but Moan, that's not how it flies on draft day. No. We don't. You have to set down the smorgasbord and head for the main course. So, who really is the player the Steelers are going to take at number 20 overall, or will it even be at number 20?
Man, so here we are, the day to pick our guy, and either we're gonna look like idiots, DK, or we're gonna look like geniuses on who's really the guy. And today being draft day, let's not gaslight is where I'm at. I say this, I do think there will be a run on quarterbacks, and by run I mean two. The two are probably gonna get picked, Malik Willis, and I honestly think Kenny Pickett will go. Simply because the anxiety of getting a quarterback, and this is the other part too, the luxury too, DK, of having slotted payment when it comes down to the new CBA and rookies getting paid. You can go get a first-round quarterback, throw him into the fire. I think we're seeing a little bit of that right now with Zach Wilson in New York. Throw him into the fire. See what you're going to get out of it. Either he is, or in slang words, or he ain't. And because you're not investing a whole lot of money into him the way you did with, let's say, Matthew Stafford, let's say Sam Bradford, those types of guys, they become a little bit more expendable. So I think some teams will take a chance on Malik a little bit earlier than Pittsburgh, or take a chance on Kenny Pickett. And at that point, you got to pick what's available to you. And a guy that I can see Pittsburgh realistically picking, and it goes back to our conversation a little bit yesterday, it could be a Jahan Dotson. Just being completely honest with you. I would almost bet that, like I said,
So
those
there'd
two
have to be a
quarterbacks-
run on wide receivers. Let's be real here, okay?
That's true too.
Because there are probably, by most estimations, 3 or 4 at least wide receivers ahead of Dotson.
Yep.
And for the Steelers to be picking at 20, you'd have to see quite a run.
You would, and I think that can be the case too, DK, because the draft is going to be weird this year. I feel like there's going to be trades moving forward, people trying to move out because they like this draft, but they don't love it. It's going to be lineman heavy, and Pittsburgh doesn't need one. So you go get the best available in that skill. I think finding a guy like Dejan Kovacevic at that point for that value at 20, I think kind of bleeds into the reality of where Pittsburgh is. You can go get a quarterback, but why reach for the ones that you really don't want? If Malik is gone, and I think he could possibly be gone tonight, then I say, let's go with the next best option. If Olave's not there, I'm going with Dotson. I know a lot of people do like Olave also out of Ohio State. And if he's not there, then you go to the next available guy. And in my opinion, I think that's Jahan Dotson.
And I'm looking at this situation and trying to read all the tea leaves that have been spread everywhere over the past few weeks, including at the Monday press conference. And I keep coming back to one thing, and that is when the Steelers want a guy, they will move heaven and earth to get him, or at least have some kind of really viable plan B. But I don't get the sense from these guys that they're sitting there going, all right, well, if A doesn't work out, then B, then a C. They've spent so much energy on quarterback, so much time.
We have.
And I'm sorry, but that's just human nature. We don't like to waste energy and effort on things that don't amount to anything for us. That's human. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, you know where I'm going. Go.
So you're saying quarterback. So if that's the case,
I'm saying one quarterback.
You're saying one quarterback.
One quarterback.
Malik.
Yes.
I can agree, but so if I was to ask you who's the best quarterback in this draft,
I'm not. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter
who they get. Not to us. What matters is what they think, because it's their pick.
It is their pick, and so So you're saying Malik? If that's the case,
I think that they're in love with the kid.
Okay, so if you get to a point and another team likes him, then you're saying the Steelers are gonna possibly trade up.
Knocking on doors. They're knocking on doors as we speak.
Wow, that's I'd love to see us do that type of move again. In recent history, I think it was Devin Bush was the last guy.
No need to.
Yeah, I know, and I'm not even blaming Devin.
Could still end up being a good player and everything.
And I think he will.
Yeah, he came off a really serious injury.
I still think he will. I'm hearing other fan bases complain about their players that's coming off of ACLs too. So everybody's in the same page. And if you're a student of the game, which our listeners are, because they comment and tell us that they are in certain ways, okay, then they'll say this. It's not the year after the ACL, it's the next year. It's only been one demon, one friggin' alien to come off of an ACL in my recent knowledge, and that was Adrian Peterson. You remember when he came back post ACL?
I agree with all your descriptions, AP, but yeah.
I say those. I'm saying in the sense that he's a damn good player and future Hall of Famer by coming off of an ACL tear to go get 2,000 yards, if I'm not mistaken. That's one of the most recent ones in my memory as far as killing it post ACL.
No, that's it. That's it. I just see them making that move, Moan. I really do. I think you're going to see them get aggressive and say, listen, this is an extraordinary circumstance.
Yeah.
This is the first draft we've had without a franchise quarterback in the fold in nearly 20 years.
Yeah.
We're ready to do whatever it is that we have to do to get the player that we feel as the Pittsburgh Steelers. And everybody went to all of his workouts. Art Rooney went to them. Yeah. It's like, okay, we get it. You like him,
So do you think ownerships and teams are that friendly to be like, all right, Pittsburgh, we'll allow you to go get
No, okay. I don't at all. I think what all that happens is you engage in significant trade talks.
Okay.
And you say, what are you willing to give up? And if the Steelers say, well, listen, when we did the Devin Bush thing, there was a third and a fifth. that went so that they would move from pretty much the same spot up to number 10. And, this is going to be, I think, kind of similar. You have to forfeit, I think, this notion that you're going to get ahead of Carolina. Okay. The Panthers are all the way up at number 6. But what you have to find out from the Panthers or somebody is, are they going to take Kenny Pickett?
Oh,
see, there's a whole lot of cat and mouse here. This moment, by the way, is why I don't buy anything that they say about we don't mock draft. We just worry about ourselves. You don't have that option here.
You don't. And we will find out tonight.
We will. When we come back, Game On. Welcome back to the Ramon Foster Show. It's time for our Hey Moan segment, and today's might be my favorite ever. Randy Duncan says, "Hey Moan, my one criticism of this show is that it's too short. I'm loving Simone, and I'm hoping you can get that special guest list going. I am so ready," says Randy. There isn't even a question in there. Randy's just pumped. Well, guess what? We have good news for Randy, don't we, over this weekend?
Yes, we do. We are going all over the weekend discussing draft picks, discussing everything about the moves that, look, Kev's making on his last hoorah, his last hooray, his last whatever you want to call it. That's interesting. So I'll be shocked if Kev doesn't just linger around and you see him after the fact. But we're rocking through the entire weekend, man, and I'm excited to cover this. I'm excited to be a part of it. And again, you guys are far too kind, too, by the way, in the comments. I'm appreciative of you guys for appreciating me, and honestly for the honesty you give us about the show and myself, too. So thank you. This weekend's going to be fun. We're just getting started, DK.
We sure are. Let's do another one tomorrow to talk about Malik Willis being in Pittsburgh.
You sicko.